Oliver, the Bharat Mobility Global Expo, we are seeing a whole lot of launches and unveils happening right now. And of course, with the electric vehicle launches, the ICE segments also, heating up. The luxury car segment, of course, cannot be far behind due to, immense amount of demand for the luxury car segment. And today I'm joined by Mr. Vikram Pahwa from BMW India. Thank you, Mr. Vikram, for speaking to us. As we see the mass car market, growing, we see a whole lot of demand for luxury vehicles as well. We see about 10 and 20, top end vehicle sales, surpassing the average luxury vehicle sales as well. So that's where the market is going, and where are you headed to now?
So I think it's natural that as the economy grows, right, as a society we become more aspirational. I think the new Bharat, as I call it, is actually even more aspirational and ambitious. So it's obviously that if we provide the right value to our customer, they'll migrate upwards. So it's been a great 2024 for us because we had great product launches in 24, and we ended up growing by 13% with BMW itself. So that was a fantastic result. As a group, also we had record sales, and also we had a great sales of our bikes, luxury bikes at 8,300 units as well. So really happy about the year, and I think it will continue to grow. I see long-term growth in India.
And when we talk about the mass car market, the OEMs also, the average industrial growth has been hovering around below 10%, and you are above 10%, clearly beating the industry. What led to that growth so nicely? Because I'm asking you this question is because we saw heat wave elections coming over, subdued demand, government spending on infra not happening much. So what really led to that number that you got for calendar year 2024?
I think it's a mix of things. One is, like I said, you focus on the customer, make sure you're providing the products that they really admire and they want. So it is not that it's not something that will not be useful to them or doesn't meet their needs. So address their needs first and then give them the aspiration they buy that. Second part is make sure that the customer experience is absolutely to the spot. So I think you heard us talk about great investments we are making with our retail legs. 365 crores through our dealer partners over the next 2 years. It's a phenomenal investment. So that gives you a great experience as well. And third thing is, I think you've seen us do great engagement activities like the Joyton, right? The art fair. So you do such kind of activities where people appreciate attaching to the brand. So those three things are which are allowing us to beat the trend.
Right. And now when I ask you about the electric vehicle market for luxury EVs, how's the trend looking like? When I ask you the previous year performance, how much number of units came out of EVs and how much ICE? Are luxury EVs kind of overtaking the ICE anytime sooner, or we have still time for that?
So I think first of all, I think all these technologies will coexist. So it's not going to be they're going to keep competing against each other because you're addressing specific customer needs with each one of them. And everybody is not an EV customer. I always say that, right? So that's why we always have this strategy that you can choose between a petrol, diesel, and an electric, whatever is your requirement. If I look at EV for us, we started the trend 3 years ago when we launched our first EV. And at that point, everybody questioned that, do we have the right strategy in place? And now we can prove that we do, because we have crossed 3,000 EV deliveries. No luxury maker has been able to do that. 3 years in a row, we've been leading the luxury EV market. So again, a market leader there. But more importantly, what's important for me is the penetration level. So even though my total penetration, even in 2024, was above 10% at a group level, what was more important was the individual penetration. So if I look at my best-selling EV in 2024 was the i7, which is our luxury sedan, right? i7 as its ratio of the total 7 Series sales was above 30%. So you can imagine now that nobody could have imagined that kind of a penetration level in India, and that's why I advise even journalists and customers to read between the lines. Don't look at the total industry penetration, because we should do that when there is a EV at every price point.
So what is driving the i7 growth? I mean, it's not it's not a mass market vehicle. It's a very niche vehicle, and subsequently very highly priced. What is leading? I mean, are Indians earning more money, or we have more money in our pockets, or luxury spending has become post-COVID?
One thing we need to remember, as India, we always have money. Okay? We should have the right reasons to spend it. And like I say, we are a very value-conscious society. So when we see value in things, we are happy to spend. And I think 7 Series has given an absolute value proposition to our, let's say, the luxury customer, right? That they've been using that class of car for many years, but now it gives them a reason to migrate even better to that. And people one level below can feel like migrating upward because that technology, that comfort, that ride, that driving, the economics, I mean, that whole package is so wonderful. Nobody can beat that.
Last question, how do we see 2025 going along? We have a whole lot of launches that you've done. Are we expecting more launches in the pipeline? And Numbers wise, how's the year looking like to you?
So numbers, I won't put it at the moment because it's just the start of the year. But I can tell you it'll be a very solid growth again in 2025. It'll be a record year. But I think the most defining thing in 2025 for us as BMW will be expanding this segment. Okay. So I think the product that you're standing next to, the X1 long wheelbase with an electric motor, that's made for New Bharat. Right? It's absolutely made for the aspirational Indian, as I call it, people who want everything as a package at a good value. So we've launched this product with a clear aim of getting more people buying luxury for the first time. And I simply say, we're giving a clear reason to our customer to say, that's my first BMW that I want to buy.
Would you give us any sense, because you must be having some research about it, are first time luxury buyers, the volume of that has increased, or what is the because I'm sure there are a lot of people, a lot of first time buyers who want to venture into luxury directly. Absolutely. So is there any number or a percentage that you could give us?
So let's look at when we launched the X1, the original X1, which is a ICE, right, with a short wheelbase version. When we launched it, we could see that over 60% of people were first time luxury buyers, right, within that. But again, the numbers are small given the potential of people who can afford luxury, right? Because they still felt that some of them felt that the space and maybe the running cost was not suiting their needs. And that's what we've addressed with this car, right? It has the space, it has the comfort, it has the road presence, it's still a BMW and it's electric, so the running cost is 85% lower. So absolutely encourages more people to move to luxury because now it meets their every need. Yeah.
And also, do we see a need for having a unified interface for charging infrastructure? Because ultimately it's the consumer who has to face the brunt of having various apps on their phones. What are you doing in terms of that to having a unified interface for public infra?
It's a great question, Chetan, because we launched yesterday, if you're there in the press conference, a first in industry in India. We launched a charging concierge, right? So as part of your roadside assistance, you get a free charging concierge. So if you want charging at any point in time, all you need to do is call up your roadside assistance, which is free of cost, right? You just call them up and say, I'm at this location, my battery is this much, I want to top up that much. Where do I go and what do I do? They will figure it out based on your location. They'll show you the nearest charging spot. They'll book the charging for you, the time slot for you. They'll even make the payment on your behalf, so you don't need to download any app. All you need to do is pay the roadside service provider directly through a link. So we'll make it absolutely foolproof and simple for our customers to do charging. In addition to that, we have been enhancing our own charging network for our customers. So we had the best charging network till now at our dealership, the fast charging network. We have 51 charging stations across 35 cities, which are up to 50 kilowatt. So when I say 50 kilowatts, just to give a context to customers, you can charge 100 kilometers while you're having a coffee, right? So as simple as that. And I think that is what people will learn with time. And I think that's what the 3,000 EV customers who have bought our cars are telling us, that they never imagined it will be so easy to charge. I was just talking to one of your journalist friend a couple of hours ago, right? And he told me that he took one of our iX, which is till now the best-selling EV. So he took the iX to Jaipur and came back. Guess how much it costed him to come back and do all that trip? Take it. 450 rupees.
And I'll also have to do that to go to Jaipur next time.
You can give it a try, absolutely, and take the BMW, absolutely, and that's what happens. And this is exactly where the revolution is taking place. And I think the iX1 long wheelbase is the right answer for the new Bharat customer that we're looking for.
Thank you, Mr. Vikram, for speaking to us. Well, that was Vikram Pawah speaking to Business Today TV on what really, the economics of having a benefit of a luxury EV and how subsequently we are having more and more people driving towards a luxury EV. With camera person Manish at the Bharat Expo, Mr. Chetan Budani for Business Today TV.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.